Hello, everyone, and welcome to the continuation of LHYNX Division Gaming League, the first VR chat-based competitive gaming league ever. Tonight's matchup is Game 2 of the Overwatch series and features Team Misfits versus Team Void. I'm your Shoutcaster Zammer, here with my co-Shoutcaster Drift, and we will be calling the match as it happens live here on the official LDGL Twitch channel and livestream. The livestream will also once again be managed by the league's co-owner and manager, Mahedrium. Tonight's matchup is another highly anticipated game, as this is a rematch of last week's competition. Rosters of the participating teams will be displayed shortly as we get closer to the start of the match. Tonight's rules will be closely following Overwatch League rules and regulations. Tonight's first map is Lijiang Tower, as selected by Team Void. This should be another extremely exciting stream, and we're thrilled to have everyone participating and watching. As we'll be announcing throughout the stream, if you are interested in joining our server and league or becoming a partner, you can stay linked in by joining the server. The server link is featured on our social media platforms, or you can type exclamation point Discord in the Twitch chat and follow the link. Feel free to show your positivity and love for the stream and the server by commenting in the chat, following us on social media, and sharing the server link. Now, without any further delay, let's get back into the action. LDGL Season 0 Overwatch Game 2 has now officially started. Drift, how are you doing tonight, dude?
Yo, I'm here and I'm excited. I'm ready to watch some Overwatch, bro. I'm ready to see these teams go back at it and see what they've learned from last week and definitely take charge when it comes to this first map. So this first map is going to be a control map, which as you watched the first time was very similar to the first game, where it's a centralized point that each team has to cap and hold for a percentage. So we'll see if we can shake it up from last week and hopefully have a little back and forth on that. In here in a minute. I see
Sure,
that Mahedrian said we had some technical difficulty, so we're going to go ahead and check in on that real quick.
we're having having trouble seeing the screen. Yes, Mahedrian, we can hear you. All right. RTC connecting problem. So we're getting it resolved right now. Again, this is actually the first night that we're going to do the stream in a different location physically. So it may be a little bit different. We may run into a little bit more glitches and some technical difficulties as the night goes on. But hopefully we don't have to deal with anything else anymore. And hopefully the stream tonight is going to go smoothly for the rest of the time. But Drift, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that I have a huge initiative in trying to learn the game, maybe even more so. Not necessarily to really try to play it, but again, very, very exciting to watch. Going to be really fun to see. And again, these two teams are going to be a lot of fun to watch too because last week, and we got to see how each team coordinated with one another, and we also got to see how they played against each other, which was also very entertaining. So, what are you looking forward most? I would say going into this first match here for Game 2. What are you looking to see out of both teams, and what are you most excited about?
I just want to see that team chemistry. That was first match against each other. It was kind of a learning experience. When you jump into a comp, you're gonna have that strong initial take at each other, but then it's just a learning experience from there during the match and after the match. Going back, seeing what kind of plays and strategy kind of pushed and what heroes they used during that play and how to kind of counteract that next time around if they do play the same. And it's a lot of back end communication too, to see how kind of the teams switch up their communications on the back end to try to make smoother pushes, coordinate alternates better. Because it's one of the biggest team games. You can't 1v1 in this game really at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree with you on that. And again, we have the 6v6 roster as we're looking at it right now. And I know that from Team Void, I think we got to interview last week. I believe we interviewed Gorkman and Mousy. I know we definitely interviewed Mousy because Mousy now has a gigantic following that definitely likes to show their presence on the Twitch stream. So, but it was really fun to watch them and actually hear their perspective on different things that had happened throughout the match. And as we heard from people we interviewed on Team Misfits, that they just have to maybe practice a little bit more and just to get the team chemistry going more and get the coordination going. And I feel like in the past week, I feel like Team Misfits, I got a good feeling that they've really done their work on that, and they've really gone out and practiced like they said they were going to. And I feel like they're going to make tonight's matchups much more competitive than last week's. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's going to be a fantastic match, but you know what? We're not going to know until we get this action started. So let's go ahead and jump right in and see what kind of game we're going to have today.
You got me. I was just stalling, but now I'm not anymore, and we're actually starting it right now. So let's do this thing. It's going to be super exciting. LHYNX Tower, new map for me, but I'm sure it's not new for everybody else here playing. So it's going to be a super competitive matchup here. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, LHYNX Tower, I gotta admit, the only reason I know how to pronunciate this map is it literally goes... Boom, there you go. If it didn't tell me the name of it, I wouldn't know the name of it.
Wow, that was timed absolutely perfectly. I was wondering, I was like, is he cutting out there? And then the game was like, LHYNX Tower. And I was like, oh, there you go. All right.
Yeah, so there's a lot of verticality when it comes to this map. A lot of inner lanes there. that we can see different sight lines from. It's a little bit of a funnel neck from both sides. So let's see. It'll be interesting to see which team kind of gets that initial push, because once they have that capture point, it's a hallway fight once they come out of spawn. So let's see what we got here. We got a couple Reinhardt tanks on both sides. Very good shield tanks to kind of soak up that damage. We're seeing a couple off tanks on both teams. We've got the mouse themselves and the Roadhog. I got a little bit of a DPS going on with Soldier 76 and the oh my god. Yeah, I'm blanking. I almost had all their names right. Listen, you know what? It's great. So let's go ahead and kick this off. You know, you got the Mercy coming in the back on both teams, gonna keep that health and damage up for both. Let's see what kind of speed we got. We already got the mouse on the objective. Look, that mouse is fast. Jeez. So we already got team. Yo, which one's which? Oh, okay. Team Void's red. Yeah, that's got me backwards. So you got a lot of Team Void on the objective already, with the tank soaking up the damage. Misfits is trying to take that back. You know, nobody's really got that capture yet. It's coming around. Got the pushback, and Team Void has the capture of the point. Now it's just a matter of holding down that point and holding off the other team. That mouse is taking that Roadhog for a ride. Yo, you better practice running on the...
So this game mode once again is very similar to like how we compared it to Hardpoint last match, right?
Yes, this is the Hardpoint mode.
Okay, so
one
control
difference
point
between this and Hardpoint is once the objective is captured, you don't necessarily have to stay on it. You can actually push away. As you see here, Team Misfits kind of had to regroup to help push together, and Team Void's going to try to lock them down in this hallway.
You argue that this was once again another very strong start for Team Void?
Yeah, very strong start. I mean, Team Misfits spawns literally in that airship there, and they're just fighting right on their front lawn. That tank is just...
taking it right to them.
Taking them right to them. If Team Misfits can get up together here and kind of take this tank down, they should be able to push back. So if they take this tank down, they've got a kind of a free game to push as a team. But they're getting it bounced around a bit by that little ball there. You know, you got Kippo on Reaper. Reaper is a great DPS. He definitely laid that damage down. So they did push past that tank, and now they have a free game, as I said, as far as coming to the objective. They don't have any tanks or off tanks to deny them from taking that point. So there we go. Team Misfits on the point, taking it back. Now it's regroup and go ahead and get that team fights going. So they kind of push back, a little bit of an overextending there on Team Void. They kind of slow down the match. They did get a lot of point drain there, though, up to 69% from the objective. So even though they were overextended, they was definitely in trying to take the point as they kind of push in. Now they've got three Void. Oh, Void just takes them out again. You know, it's all about that team push. Once those tanks are able to come back and push with them, it was just down to that. You know, that the ragdoll physics in some of these games just kills me. That hog went flying.
So now it looks like Team Void's back on the control point after a very solid pushback we saw from Team Misfits. So that percentage is going up for Team Void. Once that hits 100%, what's going to happen?
So that'll go ahead and be the round for the team that's able to capture it. We are at 94, 95%. Somebody's got to get on that point to cause the overtime. Misfits is on the point contesting that overtime. All they got to do is stay connected with it. If they can hold that overtime and win this team fight, there's a possibility to come back and take this capture.
Wow, 99% to 26%. Very close game it looks like we got here as far as overtime is concerned.
And there we go to Void. Yeah, no. When I play the game, that 99% really kills me in the soul. That is the longest 1% of any Overwatch player's life. You just want that to continue, and it just doesn't have it. So yeah, that is round one.
Round one is going to go to Team Void in a pretty solid effort that we got to see there in round one. We saw a little bit of a pushback from Team Misfits. Unfortunately, wasn't enough. But I think we're going to start to see more of those pushbacks in the coming matches, wouldn't you say?
Yes, no, that was fantastic. You know, they kind of came back from that aggressive push that Team Void put on. Misfits did a very, very good job being able to swing it back and bring back the heat and at least get on that capture point. So this next capture point's not as vertical or choke necked. It's more of an open room. So once you have the capture point here, it's just all doors from there. Oh, and the teleport up top. Yo, Team Misfits is already on the objective. Like I said, they're choking that door. So all this is a doorway fight, pushing that ball around. You know, Shikari's got Mousy trapped over here on the sidelines. Let's see what kind of zip happens. Got a couple walls going up. Those walls are major plays. When you have a doorway objective like this, you can kind of deny the team an entire route if that's where they're coming from. So we've got a lot of, with a lot of the players coming down, it seems it's ever going to come out on its first team fight because it isn't quite a capture. You know, Misfits is taking a few hits here. The tank's coming in, putting down the hate, and there we go. So we have a capture for Team Void. Yo, that opening fight was definitely fantastic. That was a great play by Misfits to get to the point quick, but it just wasn't quite enough to hold it off. They seemed to get a little dispersed there once they were on the point, and they were able to group up and hold it together.
So now Team Void has started to capture the next point here as their percentage is increasing. What is Team Misfits going to have to do to recapture the point and really start pushing back against Void now?
So it's going to come down to the regroup and the ultimates. It comes down to that team fight. They got to get out of the chokehold that they're currently in to push past the double tanks that they did before just in the last match and kind of take it away from there. As you see, you've got a lot of damage being dealt out behind these shields. That's a big play to kind of melt down those other tanks and get them a little separated. With both the off tank and the main tank here, you want to make sure that you can push the damage out. Once those tanks are down, everybody else behind that's kind of squishy. So it's really going to come down to who can coordinate their ultimates and take down the team. Oh, we got a stun. We got a right arm action. We got the... Oh, so it's definitely a lot of trading going on right here. Oh, in Void's favor for this team fight. Misfits is going to have to regroup after that knockout.
Wow. Pretty insane content we're watching. This is a lot of stuff that's going on at one time as everybody's trying to take in everything that's actually happening. But again, that percentage just keeps increasing for Team Void. Misfits has got to make one last push here if they really hope to try and get the win in this round.
Yeah, so it's going to take down the energy. Someone's got to get to that point. We're already at 90% on this capture. We've got a couple ults coming out. That ball is just a rolling. Yo, I call him Mousy, but man, that hamster's going. Woo! Yo, we got them on the point. We got some Misfits on the point, trying to take it over. They put it into the overtime, and just not enough. Void takes the second round.
So Team Void is going to take round number 2. Is that game, though, if I'm not mistaken? Wow. So game 1, again, defiantly, and is... Wow. I mean, it's just the amount of competition that that was put into these past couple of rounds, the plays, everything that we saw. But just, again, another dominant effort from Team Void, and they're going to take game number 2 here in the series, game number 1 in this particular night. So Team Void is going to take the dub on that, winning 2 rounds. And again, we can see the scores from everybody. Battle Bunny getting up on the board from Team Misfits, but we saw that several players from Team Void are very dominant in that last match, and so we're definitely seeing a lot more of Team Void. But what are your thoughts from what we just saw?
So it's definitely, yeah, I'm seeing it in the chat. That tank game is strong. That front end, the tanks are pretty much the main blunt of the team's health when it comes to those team fights, and if the tanks are slapping it out and kind of holding their own, it definitely helps for the overall DPS of the rest of the team to kind of come in there and sweep it out. We had a lot of good pushbacks from Team Misfits there trying to hold back those team fights, but it was just a break in the one defense, and Void was able to capitalize on it.
So Team Void is going to continue their domination once again, not only in Rainbow Six Siege, but in Overwatch. We have CSGO in the coming weeks, so that's going to be very fun to watch as well. But again, just another very dominant game that we saw here, a dominant match from Team Void. What does Team Misfits have to do to break through this defense and offense, both of these sides from Team Void? I mean, is there anything in particular that they could work more on, that they could do better on, that could really throw off Team Void's push in their defense?
You know, it is a pretty solid defense, but I feel like Misfits has definitely got something up their sleeve. They might be conserving it for this next round that we're going to come into. It also comes down to gameplay. That control match, as you saw last week, Dean Boy was very strong in the control game mode. And I honestly with you, I don't remember exactly 100% what our next game mode is going to be. But if I can tell you if it's going to be hybrid, we definitely have a good game here. As we saw before in last week, Misfits kind of stumbled on the control point, but this week they're kind of running it too void. So I feel like if we have a hybrid game mode like we did last week, it's definitely going to be a great second game coming into here.
Well, we're going to find out very soon. But first, we're going to take another quick intermission, and we will be back with the more action in content. And game number 2 is going to be resuming here. We're going to have match number 2 coming up very soon. Team Void again in the first round. First match is going to take the win over Team Misfits 2-0. But we'll be right back. We're going to take a short intermission, and we'll be right back with more content very soon. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you really soon.
If the kingdom is overthrown, meet me at the cornerstone. I know that I can't be without you. This bond is solid gold. We're a diamond and an emerald. It took me forever to find you. 'Cause when it's all over, the love that you give will be there to guide you in every way. Now we've been through the cold and darkest days. The summer's calling. As we wait for the smoke to clear and we watch our dreams appear. I know that we can rise together. This vision that we share is ours. Together we can touch the stars. I know that we will see December. 'Cause when it's all over, the love that you give will be there to guide you in every way. Now we've been through the cold and darkest days. The summer's calling.
Say the word, say the word. Say the word, come on. Say the word and we can run around the earth and around the sun. Say the word and we can stay. Forget about that better place. And I know you're healing, 'cause I know the feeling. The streets stop breathing. Don't wanna let you. Say the word, say the word.
Okay, everybody, we are back. Thank you for holding tight during that intermission, but we are here and we are ready to start our second match of the night. Once again, Team Void taking the first match 2-0. I'm here again with my co-shoutcaster Drift, and Drift is going to be really doing the majority of the calling of this game because I'm still trying to figure out what all is happening throughout the match. But Drift, very exciting matchup coming up here on Dorado, I believe, is the map. What are we going to expect in this upcoming match?
All right. So, like I said, switching game mode. So, you remember hybrid from last week? Well,
I do remember.
This is the other half of hybrid that's not hybrid.
Oh, okay, so
this
it's
is
like a
straight
third new
escort.
game mode.
So this is just straight escort. So there is no initial capture point on this one. So with hybrid on King's Row that we did last week, they had to take the first objective and then move the payload. This week we're jumping right into the escorting part. So the payload will be already available to move for the attacking team. So there's no real capture point or choke for this. So it'll be a moving fight right off the bat.
So we saw more of a pushback in the second game of last week's competition. We saw more of a pushback from Team Misfits, I would argue. So would it stand to reason that maybe in this particular game mode we're going to see a similar thing happen?
Oh yeah, I'm very excited to see how this game mode plays out. There seems to be a lot of attention to detail when it comes to this kind of game mode. There's a lot. It isn't much more of a choke point. I mean, there's choke points along the route of the escort, but it's more of a moving game mode. So there's a lot more room for breathing and you'd say almost strategy when it comes down to doing the game mode, where you can actually have a little bit more room, a lot more ranged heroes, a lot more synergy when it comes to moving around the map.
Wow. All right. Well, then I think the players are ready. They're starting to throw out some interesting facts there at the bottom left of the screen. So I think they're ready to. I think they're ready to get this thing started and get this thing going. So we're gonna go ahead and start this second game right quick. And thank you again to everybody that's been staying with us so far. Hope everybody is enjoying the stream. Once again, check out the Discord server. Check out the social media. Don't forget to follow our Twitch channel for every time that we go live. You can turn on notifications every time we go live. We got a lot of other really fun, interesting matchups that are coming up in the coming weeks. It's going to be a lot of fun, including a new game mode. CSGO is going to be included in the mix, and that's going to be super fun to watch and super fun for us to call as well. But we're getting into the second match here. It seems that both teams are starting to choose their heroes, which I guess is the Siege equivalent to operators. So,
Yes.
all right, yeah.
So there is
Fair
our
enough. Fair enough.
there is our payload right there. It is out and ready to go. They got to move that truck of whatever contents may be in that barrel. Nobody knows. Across the map. Oh, so
Right,
where's
so is
Tino?
it
Where's
is it Team Void that's defending first or Team Misfits?
honestly thinks. All right, so yeah, we got Team Void pushing the payload first. Yeah, there's a lot hopping around. Honestly, I couldn't tell at first. So we got a lot of mobile. I almost said operators. Thanks, bud. We got
Sorry
a lot of
about that.
mobiles here.
Sorry.
There on the Misfits side, got a lot of movement ready to go. Moira is very good attack and damage. Ooh, look at Shikari. He's already ready on the rooftop, ready for Team Void to come out. You know,
Wow, they've already like posted up right outside. So
Yeah, so they
that's
give
gonna get
defending
started
a
right
time.
here.
That's the only time you're going to see a choke at the beginning of this kind of game mode, is it does allow the defending team to get into position and defend against the payload movement. So you can see they've kind of stacked up there. They moved the payload forward, but they have a really strong wall there with Orisa and up top and trying to keep them in a funnel down below. We're going to see some hamster ball action. They'll swing up there. Is it
Now,
2-3?
do we think Mousy is going the hamster on purpose? Or
I believe so at this point. Listen, I don't even call it the hamster at point. That's a mouse and a ball for me, alright?
the mouse and a ball. Okay. All right. Fair enough. So right now we can see at the top of the screen, though, it seems that Team Void has just over 3 minutes to try and get the payload to the maximum distance if they can get it that far, right?
Yeah, so as you see along there, you've got the little marks there at the bottom bar. Those are different checkpoints, and as we both learned last week, each of those checkpoints counts as 1 point. So each team is at least got, even if Team Void can't push it all the way, when it switches around to Team Misfits, they'll either have to push it they'll just have to push it farther than Team Void did. So we are already into the market section here, so we are at almost to the first checkpoint at this door. There's a lot of back and forth going down. We have a couple people from Team Misfits that just went down, and we are at the first checkpoint. They are just moving this payload right around down the way. You know, so we're seeing
That is 1 point
DPS
now to Team Void.
Yeah, so that is the first point to Team Void. We have a little bit of a regroup going on, probably set up for the next choke point here as the Team Void moves through this first checkpoint.
See, the time also resets as well between these checkpoints.
Yeah, so they give the extra time because it can come down. Overwatch, I can tell you, is one of those games that loves to give that extra time to make this a real good competition. You know, if you can get down to that 99% on a capture point, it'll let you. You get that payload to the next point. I don't care if you have 30 seconds left, you get a whole 4 or 5 minutes more to push that payload to the next quick point.
So how strong of a push are we seeing from both of these squads right now?
It's a pretty steady pace. That payload really hasn't stopped moving since the match started. Ooh, we got some sniper action going on from the back line. Team Void behind where they actually need to be pushing here. I don't think Misfits realized that they were on that side of them. So that was a couple frags there. So we're going to see a bit of a regroup and kind of go for that second point. So that second checkpoint is going to be right before this warehouse. And their tanks are just, Void's tanks are just pushing in and putting the aggression there on Team Misfits. They take them back.
So we're about ready to see another checkpoint push here from Team Void, and then at that point they'll be going up 2-0.
Here we go. Misfits is on the payload. They said no
All right.
further. Here we go. So yeah, that's part of that little overextensions, and it does play better for the time and kind of separates the team. But if the team can get together and get back to the objective away from the other team, it kind of doesn't work in their favor. As you see, our Bender is trying to take out their sniper in the back line there. We got the ults coming out. The ball is a-rolling, pushing them off the map. We got a bug. Oh my goodness. Yo, just using that payload for momentum, getting them off that point. Yo, that mouse is just ready to roll. Oh my goodness!
So now Team Void has hit the second checkpoint. So now it's 2-0 Team Void, and now they're gonna try and push for the last checkpoint.
Yeah. So here we are inside. So it isn't just a straight line here. They're gonna have to go ahead and go around that center point there and come back up to the top of that dish.
Okay.
Dish.
Would you consider these areas choke points?
I mean, there's a lot of verticality and a lot of choke points that can happen here. It's going to be hard, especially since the defending team are just around the corner. There's a lot of verticality from the defender's spawn to get up above the attackers and kind of try to get that denial. And it's going to be up to the the aggression of Void that they like to do to kind of hold them back and try to keep the payload moving. As we see here, we got the hammer is down. We're going to capitalize on this, kind of knock them back. Yo, there's so much going on in Overwatch. It's insane,
That's what I'm
man.
saying. That's what I'm saying. And my screen's a little laggy too, so I don't know what's going on. And on top of that, I still don't know what's going on. So it's really just a lot of I don't know what's going on right now. But that's great. I'm sure everybody's seeing it.
This is a great game. I'm just gonna let you know it's fantastic. And we got the Misfits was able to push Team Void off the payload as that starts to roll backwards. So
Time delay here at this point. If you're Team Misfits, you're just trying to play time.
No. We have the mouse.
Oh no.
We have the mouse hiding above again. Will Misfits notice, or are we gonna get the regroup? It's perfect. All right, though it was Sheikah's looking for some mouse revenge from last week. There is no hiding this week. Oh, and here comes the alt play. We're gonna have a big team battle here. Whoever comes out on top for this is definitely going to be who gets the aggressive push. We got a lot of flying. Oh, it's high noon. It's, a lot of them flying
High
heroes
noon.
are going to get, the cowboy call is high noon. You better duck for cover because he ain't going to miss. We got a couple knockdowns here. McCree, Shikari's down. Mercy's down. Yeah, we're definitely going to see a regroup here for Team Misfits as Void kind of pushes them back. That tank is holding the best that they can. So they did. Misfits was able to push back that payload back a little bit. So what happens when the when the attacking team is off the payload, it can be moved back to the previous checkpoint. So if they're able to get that, they can definitely stall some time and have that payload be removed to the forward. But the reverse movement is laid far less than that forward movement. So we're definitely seeing this last uphill climb for this team to try to get this objective onto the point. As we saw last week with the also objective moving, it was definitely down to this last couple feet. The defender's spawn being right there and they can come out quick. Oh, we got a couple knockouts there. We got 3 teams down. Oh, four down as they cycle out. Kippo and Toxic trying to hold this team back as hard as they can. Team Void's gonna get in for that good push. Oh, they got, to do what they can. Here comes some payload. Oh, Team Void definitely has that push up, and that is the first round of the game.
So round 1 is once again going to go to Team Void, and they're going to take all 3 checkpoints on that last round. So how difficult, if you're Team Misfits, how difficult of a comeback is this going to be to try and tie this game up and get it into another match?
They're going to have to take that payload all the way to the end, so they're definitely going to need to bring the A. Yeah, they're going to have to bring their A game. Unlike last week where it was down to, hey, you can get it as far as we did or a little further. Now it's you have to push it all the way just as we did. If they're unable to push that all the way, that will not be that. Yeah, so there is no capture point. So that definitely saves a lot of time for moving forward with the payload. Team Misfits will be able to get in there and get the momentum going. So there is a lot of momentum that comes into this versus Hybrid. Hybrid, you kind of got to group up. You got to do the capture point, which we've seen Void is very strong in this game doing. and they don't have that right off the bat. So it's just depending on how quick they can move that payload and if they can get him on a choke point, why that payload is moving off the bat.
Isn't the kind of hacking I do.
We are coming down to the wire here. It looks like this round is getting ready to start. And again, Team Misfits is down 3-0. They're going to have to come back from a 3-0 deficit if they even just want to tie the game and get it into another tiebreaker. So, I don't know, what are we going to expect here in the coming seconds? Is it just going to be mass chaos here at the beginning of the round?
Well, we're going to have a lot of good verticality. So, as you can see, Kippo is fair, and we have a Mercy on the above. So they're able to fly up, get the damage from above, and kind of knock that team back. When you have a Mercy damage bunch of Pharaoh like that, it's a lot of air domination there in Overwatch, and which is what's really great about this is there is verticality to this game, and as you can see, Team Void is elected to take a more backed up approach to setting up their defense on the capture point, where Team Misfits on that first round was a little farther forward. So we're gonna see a lot more chokes here as they come up to here. They're kind of putting the pain down. They're already to that first archway. Once they get through that archway, they'll be in that market, and at the end of that market is the first capture point. So they kind of have Team Void split up here. And, ooh, Cowboy going wild! God, they got that shot. Let's go! Yo, he just laid the hate from above. Yo, I thought that was Farrah's thing, but I guess McCree wanted the justice from above today. Wow, that was just insane pushback from Team Void there. But that payload is definitely still on the forward movement. They should get a good regroup, and they should be able to move it up forward. We got a Diva out of mech. Oh, and there it goes. Oh. Yo, we got a lot of mobile game going this time around, and it's definitely Team Misfits bringing the aggression out here, ready to fucking push this payload to the next level and get this first capture point. Woo! Yeah,
You're
so
definitely seeing a pretty huge pushback from Team Misfits this round.
So I think Team Void is elected to. No, there they come. I thought they were gonna back up and let them take out first one, but you know what? They were ready to push them into it. So it's definitely a good aggression. We already 1 point on the board for Team Misfits. This is already a fantastic push for Team Misfits coming into this for this second round.
So here we go, 4.5 minutes to go here, and Team Misfits is going to have to try and get to that second checkpoint, and then eventually the third checkpoint. So it's going to be a very close matchup for the rest of this game. What has Team Void got to do now to try and push back against Team Misfits' push?
It's just, when it comes to the escort, it's about setting up that solid defense somewhere along the route. And oh my goodness, the hate being thrown out from behind that shield. You know, they got that set down. We got a good ult from Hanzo. Gonna try to knock him away. Sometimes the Hanzo ult doesn't have to go for the kills, it's just to clear the way. It definitely makes the defenders move away and back off of the main objective there. So we got a lot happening here with the so Team Void definitely bringing it back and backing up Team Misfits here on this next checkpoint in the market.
Wow, this is definitely very entertaining. I would say it's a much more close game this time around, as we had expected going into this. And let's see, just over 3 minutes remaining, and it looks like Team Misfits has pushed that payload about halfway, but they gotta keep pushing here. What's the play for Team Misfits for the rest of this round?
It's always a very good regroup, so the regroup is utterly important to try to coordinate and get that push. If you get separated or get apart, it's definitely hard to get that push when your team's separated. So it's definitely got to be a team push, a lot of tank damage, and not getting picked off. You got the Hanzo auto-meching the Diva. Ooh! Right in the face of that arrow. There we go. So that's what you need to do right there. So Team Misfits is definitely moving this payload along. Got it going. They're going to be coming up to the second checkpoint. Let's see if they can go ahead and make that push immediately to this checkpoint, or if they're going to have to fight for it. Oh, so Team Void is definitely coming out of the gate hot. They do not want them to get the second checkpoint. Oh, what are we nerfing? Oh my goodness! Boom! Did we get anybody? Ah, we didn't quite get anybody, but that's just like the Hanzo ult. That Diva ult will make people run. So, just to fill you in there, Zach, when that Diva ult comes out, it's basically a nuke. So if you're in line of sight of that nuke, it is not a fun time for you. So, so Team They're definitely pushing it forward. Team Misfits here, putting on the aggression, kind of returning the aggression from Team Void. Yo, that payload is a moving. It is going quite quick. So Team Void is going to have to group up here and try to slow down this aggression because, you know, Team Misfits, it does come down to how quick you can get into that third checkpoint. And if they can't stop the aggression here, it might be round 2 for Team Misfits. We'll have to see, though, you know, that you definitely have a good, oh, the ult! Making them move back. It's
They
just
are pushing.
Yeah, if it...
Team Misfits domination right now with their push.
Oh my
This
god,
is
it's right
crazy.
here! We could see a Misfits round! We could be upset! We could be going into a round 3 into this game! Yeah, if they can go ahead and get groups on this, they definitely need to get picked up. Whew.
Just over
Yo,
2.5
that was
minutes.
insane.
Is that going to be enough time?
That is plenty enough time to make sure what to do. Yeah, that is definitely a very short distance to go ahead and move forward with that payload. If Team Misfits can come together... Oh, we sleeping on the job over here. Not sure what's happening. Hanzo had to take a quick nap. That's A-okay. They're back up and ready to rock. Team Misfits is going to get a cheesy little push here. They're going to kind of try to isolate the team members of Void and try to get this good push. Toxic taking in all that damage from now Orisa. Try to get it going. The shielder is down. You'll have to see what the team can do here to kind of come back from that. I don't know if it'd be more the off tank taking the damage or if a regroup would be the better option. We'll have to see.
That time is counting down, though. I mean, the 2.5 minutes was plenty of time, but we're getting closer and closer now here to 0. So we're going to have to see a serious push from Team Misfits if they're going to try to tie this up. Because right now, Team Void is keeping the defense going here.
Yeah, so they definitely have the control of the ground now. As you see, that payload is moving Jack just a little bit as Team Void takes the dominance over it. But it's a very short distance. If Misfits can get a very good aggressive push, maybe coordinate some ults in this next round, this next team fight, they should be able to take real hold of this objective and move it forward. So we're definitely hopping.
Was that payload moving backwards?
Yes, so the payload will move back if the friendly team isn't moving. There, it is definitely slower than it moves forward. Here comes the ult. Let's see if we got 2 down with the ult. Team Misfits is on the payload.
It's pushing. It's still contested.
Oh, the gorilla coming down, putting the hate. They gotta get him off the payload. The gorilla is down. Here we go. Team Misfits bringing the payload home. Let's go. Come on, they got it. It's so close, dude.
It is coming down to the wire.
I can't stand the 99% movement, man. Oh, Toxic is down. Oh. It's so close. They have 40 seconds to get that objective on the payload. They have to take the next team fight to get on the objective. Push them back.
That's it.
Oh,
That's
Team
it.
takes round 2. We have a game, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my goodness, what a game. 3-3. That is crazy. Oh my goodness. Some time remaining. What does this mean for this match?
So this is an overtime round. So now Void has a second chance to push that payload to the end quicker than Team Misfits. But I mean, you look
so
at
now
the
it's
margin.
just distance at this point in overtime. Okay. I see. So we got the leftover time. So that means that Team Void has a minute 31 to push as far as they can, and then that means that Team Misfits has a minute to push as far as they can, and whichever distance is the farthest, that is the team who is going to win this overtime and win this match. Wow!
Yes.
Can you believe what we just saw from Team Misfits? How about that?
I told you, man. It was definitely a learning experience. Game 1 was definitely a flex that I'm also see who can come in raw, but there's always a learning experience when it comes to team games like this and Team Synergy. You switch up to Team Synergy, you switch up to Team Heroes, you get what works together the best, who's more comfortable in what they have, and definitely it comes down to the game mode when it comes to this kind of things. So it's definitely going to be see who can do that more aggressive push. I know Team Misfits definitely had a quick push in the first one, so we have a minute to see what Team Void does it here, and we have a Bastion on the payload. If this isn't most OG I've ever seen, double the shields with the Bastion on the payload to push this forward. Yo, Mousie's not a mouse.
At this point, you're just going for distance right here, and yeah, Mousy is not a mouse, going to different hero here. Now we're starting to see some contested play. What is going on right now?
So you just gotta So yeah, it is Team Misfits pushing on this objective. I almost oversighted that. They definitely have the shield stack up in the Bastion to try to just shield it up and get them to go as far as they can, but Team Void is definitely ready to make sure they don't go the distance. They're trying to hold them in this one position at the 1 minute mark as long as they can. So shield shield down for Team Void. Misfits has an open window here to see how far they can push it. So there is overtime. So as long as the team stays on the payload, the pushing team, they have as much overtime they can to keep that payload going. So if they can keep this team push going and keep this momentum, they can go all the way to the end if they can keep it up. It's a hot task, but it's definitely good. Yeah, so if you can get that first checkpoint, that'll be big. So we got to hammer down. It's going to definitely break up the team here a little bit. It's going to get the overtime is burning. Oh, back on the point just in time. Yo, it's going to be the craziest fight you didn't see here. We definitely have Void taking out Team Misfits. So just short of the first checkpoint there.
Wow, look at that. So now we saw the distance there from Team Misfits and how much distance they have. 77.25 meters, time remaining 0 seconds. So now it's up to Team Void pushing a farther distance in their allotted period of time.
Yeah, with more time. So Team Void here has 1 minute and 30 seconds. So it's definitely, Misfits has a lot more to stall on the defense here than Team Void did, but I have full faith that if we can get a good team fight going right off the bat, it can definitely happen. So pretty much our statue is our point there. So they got to get up to that statue, right where that gold square is.
Misfits is really going to have to put the defense up here. Really the offense, I guess, if you want to say, because they're just going to have to take it to Team Void here at the starting that match to try and stall as much time as possible.
Yes, that is very true. It's going to be, you know, Void likes to come out with that aggressive game, and I think Team Misfits is definitely going to have to match that to try to get that synergy and slow them down. You know, it was definitely a stall on the road right about where Malith is now, so it's going to be a very interesting round to see if they cannot get us far. You'll let a cheeky little trap around the corner. I can't wait to watch it. Yo, that man is flying with bombs. Man, Junkrat players can fly with bombs impress me, man. I use one of those, I fall off the map. So here we go. Yo, they're bouncing that damage out right away. That is the point of the Junkrat. We have Winston hiding in the back line here, probably ready to jump onto that team fight. Oh, he has been spotted by Team Misfits. They're definitely holding that same choke point they did in the first round. So they're just trying to bring it in. Oh, so we got a couple trades here, nothing too crazy yet. We'll have to see what happens when they hit about this main street. They're definitely going to have to slow this down and that aggressive.
In a minute now.
Oh, jeez. Yeah,
they are moving though. Team Void is moving.
Yeah, they definitely already got that archway. If Misfits can push, go ahead and get a good regroup and go ahead and stop them here at that statue. They got to stop them from getting that yellow point. They're going to have to use that choke point underneath that bridge to their advantage. As we get another one down, Kifo going down, trying to throw out that health, trying to slow that down. You know, here they come around the corner. It's going to be very close here. Coming down to the wire. Yeah, it's definitely contested. It's right there. Yo, you got Team Misfits, got to bring it back again. Team Void is going to push it in, and that's game.
So Team Void is going to win against Team Misfits, but not as dominant as we saw last match, though. That was a hell of a game, if I do say so myself. Drift, what are your reactions to what we just saw as we see Mousy with the plays?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. There was a lot of big plays on that push, swinging back and forth. That cracked me up using the payload to kind of push the back and forth. This mouse is all over the place. It was overall a great game, man. I'm not gonna lie, I was out of my seat several times tonight. If my voice sounded hype, I was probably standing at that point. I definitely love to see when they go back and forth. Yeah, I'd love to see having Team Misfits take a round and push that payload all the way to the end. You can definitely tell there was a huge improvement over last week, and definitely a little bit more synergy going on amongst the team. You know, using those ults, not to just try to get kills. I mean, yeah, you can use that, but to kind of push the aggressive team away, because especially when you have an aggressive team like Void, using that Hanzo ult, you want to run for the hills. You see that Diva ult, you also want to run for the hills. So it definitely was able to push Team Void off the objective and allow Misfits to get that ground gain.
Oh, well, that was a lot of fun to watch, and despite that pushback by Misfits, the amazing synergy that we see, definitely improvements from last week. Team Void is going to battle back with their own synergies as well, and they're going to take the victory again here in match number 2, and they are going to take the series here again in the Overwatch series 2-0 against Team Misfits. We have more action coming your way, though. We got a post game coming up that's going to feature interviews from players on both of these squads, and we're going to get their perspectives and their opinions on what just went down and their plans for future competitions moving forward here. Thank you again for everybody that's tuned in so far. Again, check out the server, check out the stream, check out the social media. It's all there for you guys. But we're going to be back very shortly here going into postgame. Going to be coming back with some awesome interviews very soon. So stay with us, stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
You got my God.
The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's stop this conversation. Let's stop this conversation. We got no relation. this conversation. We got no relation. No relation.
We ain't perfect, no. It's a work in progress. Good things go slow. I'm no saint. I fall and you pick me up again. Got your habits, got 'em too. Just feel like maybe I could lose them with you. Sinking in, and I guess I kinda like that. For the first time, you really got my back. Got your habits, got 'em too. Just feel like maybe I could lose them with you. Lose them with you, lose them with you. Just feel like maybe I could lose them with. I'm no saint. Hey, yeah. I'm no saint.
All right. I think I'm back now. I started talking and I realized that I was muted. So, but now I think I'm good. So we're gonna go ahead and get started here with that post game again. Team Void with the 0-2 final, as you can see, against Team Misfits, but not without a fight, as we saw Team Misfits with the pushback. That was extremely entertaining, a very entertaining match from both of those matches in this entire series overall. This has continued to be an extremely fun one to watch. We're going to get some interviews going here with the players to see what they think, what went down, their thoughts on what went down, and some plans that they may have for the future moving forward here and in future competitions. So, Drift, who do you want to start out with, my man? I don't know if Drift may be having some technical difficulties.
Oh, I was muted as well. You know what? The mute button is real right now. All
I-
right. Yo, let's start it off little smitey but strong. Let's go ahead and get Mousy up here, and
All right.
let's
Do the
talk
applause.
about that. Mousy, how's it going?
Great. How are you?
Great. You know, I see you got a lot of love, and you're living up to the mouse name there, just rolling around a little hamster ball. I gotta say, you got a lot of control over that rope. There's a lot of times where I don't think I'd be able to stay on the map, and definitely wrecking the ball for sure. So,
Thank you. Yes,
Yo.
it's a character that I've been grinding recently.
well, you definitely can see it. You know, so I particularly wanted to ask you about that push play where you seem to just be all over the place, but completely in the control.
Yep, I always want to try to be behind them and hearing the back line and the front line and trying to make the other team turn around to deal with me.
Yeah, I could tell that. And you know, you just seem to find the cheekiest little hiding spots on the map for being a giant ball. You blend in with the scenery. I don't know what it is. I think Shikiri cut you out this week on it, but there was no hiding this time around. So is that generally your play? Just when the team has to regroup, you kind of stay behind and become part of the scene?
Yep, get behind the other team and try to mess with them and maybe even boop and bop them around and push them into my team.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of control. There's a lot of fun to watch, Mousy. You know, it's just great because at one point I just stopped calling it a hamster and it became a mouse ball. Well, thank you for that. So we're gonna go ahead and I see they had a pop up here. Lockhart, how are you doing?
Oh shit! Am I here right now? I can't tell.
Yeah,
Hang
yeah. You're live
okay.
now.
Hello. Hi. I'm not sure why I'm pulled in here, to be completely honest. I was just kind of.
You know, I just gotta refresh my brain. You were playing the Mercy, correct?
No, I was playing Zenyatta for the most part. I was Brig at the first map, and.
Okay, so you're bringing in a lot of the frontline damage. So, you know, as far as the front team, you know, what was kind of the synergy on the aggressive pushes that you guys have off the bat?
Aggressive push wise, we just kind of focused everything on Kiwi. To be honest, we're just like, yeah, we'll just throw everything on Kiwi and occasionally Mousy when we can actually see her. You know, when she's not kind of hiding in the crevices out in the distance. You know. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, it was good to see. You know, there was a lot of energy that came out when you guys did do a push. You know, when you'd fall back, there was definitely a rhyme or reason. You definitely had Mousy. So let me go ahead and you jump to the other end. You know, I had a lot of people say in the chat, Kiwi. Since Lockhart mentioned it, what's kind of like the main push of what you got going on there when you're working with a team, when you're doing mainly control, and when you're sniping people as Widow?
I mean, it's mostly, I'm gonna for Widow, it's at first, trying to find that off angle, but once, that position is given away, I'm trying to relocate back to Gork, or if Mousy's, on Orisa, and then relocating and playing off them, and then just kind of working our way, trying to get more picks, and trying to just work off my tanks as much as I can, because, as much as Widow is for picks, if I get picked, then like Kipo's gonna pick us off, or the other DPS is gonna pick everyone off. So
Yeah, shout out to Kipo. He was the one like taking me out left and right.
Yeah, no,
Run for
he
my
kind of.
money.
Yeah, he went with Ed McCree. That's where we're bringing him in here in a minute. He was definitely thrown down the Wild West. But yeah, no, good game overall, guys. It's really entertaining to watch you guys play, and you can definitely tell, talking to each of you, that there's definitely a back plan that each of you run into your role, and it really shows that if one piece of the card is in play and then the other is, it definitely shows in the team synergy. So you guys did a fantastic job today, and it was a great time to watch you guys play. Xammer, you got anything?
If I'm not mistaken, so all you guys are on Team Void, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, cool. So again, with Drift, that was a lot of fun to watch, super entertaining. We did see some pushback from Misfits in that last match, but you guys definitely overcame that, which was a lot of fun to see. What are some plans moving forward? You guys think? Is there anything that you guys think you could work together better on? Things that you guys can get better on moving forward to future competitions? Or is there anything in particular that you guys are going to focus on?
I leave that to our esteemed leader. Actually, Gork has been with us. He's actually
Yeah.
been directing pretty well. If you can
Gork
pull him
is
up here,
Gork is
he
kind of
probably can tell us more.
our big
He's our
poppy.
backup. Like,
All right, well, let's see if we can get Gork on in here. Mahedrian, if you can hear us. Let's get Gork up in here. Gork, if you're listening. All right, he is in here. Gorkman, did you hear the question I had for them?
Yes, the question like, what are we going to do moving forward?
Yeah.
Some things I would like to have worked on our team is figuring out our communication a little bit better. We're trying to do a bit more of the ult tracking, where we figure out what ultimates are going to be used in this next fight, like what ultimates the enemy team has, and trying to like track that, like knowing when they're going to use their ultimates, so that we can effectively counteract that, play accordingly. Like, for example, if the enemy team has EMP, we want to play a bit split up rather than close together so they can't hit everybody with the EMP.
Got it. Okay. Well, I'm still trying to learn the game, but watching you guys, it has been super fun to watch, and I feel like I am getting educated more and more each time I watch these teams go at it. You guys and Misfits. So it was a lot of fun, super entertaining tonight. Thank you guys so much for participating and being a part of this, and we're super excited to see you guys in some future competitions.
Thank you very much. And hello to everybody. I love you guys.
The shout outs. We
shout-outs.
love the
Exactly. Shout out to my girlfriend Cake.
Yeah, do all the shout outs. All the
No.
shout outs.
Oh, jeez. All right.
All right, so that was Team Void, everybody. Super fun, man. Those guys are always super chill and really fun to talk to. But you know who is also super fun to talk to and very chill? Team Misfits. So we're gonna get some of these guys up in here, and we're gonna talk their ears off a little bit and get their opinions on what just happened this past match and some things going on in the future. Drift, I'll let you start with all the questions.
All right. Oh, it's our main man Kippo. So you got a shout out from Team Void there. You kind of kept them on their toes, and we did see one of those from a first person perspective. McCree definitely laying down the hate from up top on that one push. Yo, that aim was great. Was that
Wait.
just your main thing to pick them out as you went along, or?
I played Hanzo, I believe. And yeah, I saw people on high ground, and I knew that, so I could just climb up and just take them off and not bunny. That's my healer. So
Yes. So the other main question I had for you. So a lot of your ults for your Hanzo and for the push on the objective, was that mainly just to clear them off and kind of give you guys some breathing room each time you guys were able to push that payload?
yeah, I had to make some space and try to like open them so they can't see like what's happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that was definitely definitely a major play. You are lagging a little bit, but I ain't catching what you're saying. Yeah, no, that was definitely a good play. I'd like to see it, and you were definitely laying down the hate, picking them off. So, good place to you guys. I cannot wait. You got anything, Zammer?
I'm not really at the moment. I'm just seeing if we can get some more people from Team Misfits in here. We had quite a bit from Team Void, but we're gonna get a couple more people. So we have Yo Bender in here. Yo Bender, what are your thoughts on the match that just transpired?
Oh man, that was a lot of fun. Mouse was just all over the board, and we keep on screaming. We're like, "There's a mouse behind us! There's a mouse behind us!" And we would look, and there goes the mouse, and it's like, "What the heck?" We couldn't kill him, but it was a lot. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Well, that pushback from you guys was terrific. Just getting that round in that second match, and that was very indicative too from the first match. After seeing the pushbacks that we were seeing, we knew that there was something in store for us in the second match. So that was a lot of fun to watch you guys get your round there and really take it to Team Void and make this a super competitive matchup as we saw. But Drift, if you have any more questions for these guys, let them have it.
So yeah, just to clarify, Bender, I've been getting heroes wrong all night. I thought I had the right ones, but that's okay. It's a team game. So Bender, you were playing Diva in that one game, right? You guys were
Oh
pushing?
yeah. I was playing off
Okay.
tank. Yeah.
Okay, good. I got this one right. So yeah, so the combination of that, I noticed there was a lot of yin and yang going on, especially with you two here, Kippo, with those ults and trying to clear the air. Would you say to give your push, and that definitely worked in your guys' favor. Was
Well,
that
I
kind of the
know.
plan all along, or?
Well, a little bit, yeah. So going into that second one, the one that we actually pushed, we were like, just don't focus the mouse, just go forward. Like we couldn't catch them; they had the high ground, so we just started playing cart and just started, letting them come to us was the idea, and it worked. Like they would kind of come in here and there, and then Kipo does some amazing call outs. So every time he would call somebody, we would just dive and crunch that person. So that's the thing we have to work on the most as a team isn't necessarily the call outs. It's more just being more aggressive in the right avenues. But yeah.
Yeah, see, that's perfect. Yeah, you could definitely tell that there was a strategy that changed via there to the void. Your guy, the second game for Misfits was definitely out of my seat, just like most of them are. I'm just super hype about them, and seeing you guys come in and you give them a run for their money. It was definitely a great round to watch, and with the off tanks and even you had a lot of mobility on your team. Like Kippo said, he was able to climb to the high ground with Hanzo and kind of flick at people, and with DB you got the little jet boost, so you're able to push forward quite a bit. There was a lot of good team synergy with you guys, so it was great to have you guys, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next.
Cool. Well, we appreciate it, and
Thank you.
looking forward to it.
Listen, thank you guys so much. Well, we hope everybody enjoyed these interviews. Again, both of these teams just absolutely comprised of some of the nicest and most awesome people, and we can see it in all the games, Overwatch, Siege so far, and I'm sure we're going to have it in CSGO and other games that we're going to be having on LDGL here soon. So right now, we are going to move into the final break here of the night, and with the conclusion of the interviews, but we are going to be back really quickly, a short, small break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back very soon. Thank you. Don't go anywhere.
Till the quiet and the echoes became colder. And I never really knew that it was over. Till the quiet and the echoes became colder.
All right, everybody, and we are back once again, and we are going to conclude this officially. This was a super exciting and entertaining night. Just to cap off the conclusion here, Drift, any final thoughts about what we just saw and things that we may be seeing in future competitions between these two teams?
That I just have to say was a fantastic game. Both teams came out with their A game and played a fantastic game. They're definitely learning from each other. They're definitely switching up their comp. As you heard them talking in their interviews, they realized that Mousy was definitely throws the hurt, but it's definitely part of the distraction on the back line. So they once they kind of ignored that, they said they were able to get a push, and we definitely saw that reflected in the game. So that is all part of the learning process when you think with these VODs, and I think Overwatch has its own recording system. You can go back and kind of analyze from both ends, pause, replay, and learn from your prior games. So I think the further along we go here, the more hot these games are going to get. They're going to get closer and closer, and it's definitely going to be a great competition. I'm probably not going to be sitting by the time we come around to the last game.
I totally agree with you, dude, and you lead me right into the next topic here because we are going to have another rematch between these two teams on Thursday, July 15th, once again at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time. That is going to be the conclusion of the Overwatch series here in Season 0 for LHYNX Division Gaming League. It's going to be sad to see these two teams stop playing against each other for a brief amount of time as we get set for Season 1. But I will say the conclusion of this series is going to be super entertaining as we see both of these teams continuing to grow, continuing to coordinate better with each other, and to continue to take it to one another. It's going to be a super fun finish to this series. Once again, the next game is going to be on Thursday at 8 o'clock p.m. Central. Team Void versus Team Misfits, the conclusion of the Overwatch series here for LHYNX Division Gaming League Season 0. We also have some more content coming your way in the coming weeks. We have the season debut of CSGO between Team Red Zone and Team Void. This is going to be another super exciting matchup. We've continued to see Red Zone and Void go at it on Siege, but we haven't seen them compete yet on CSGO. So Counter-Strike Global Offensive games coming your way in the coming weeks. That is going to be on July 18th and July 25th, respectively. Going to be super entertaining, so definitely tune into that. And then we have the conclusion of the Rainbow Six Siege series of Red Zone against Void. That is going to be at 9:30 p.m. Central Time on Monday, July 19th. So definitely check that out. It's going to be another super fun conclusion to that series. Again, all for Season 0, but Season 1 is going to be coming very soon as well. We're just getting started, people. It's going to be a lot of fun. Once again, thank you for tuning in. Definitely check out our Discord server. That's where we have all the action and everything organized. Super fun to be a part of and just be in and be involved. It's all about the inclusion. It's all about the positivity. So definitely check out the Discord server. It is linked in our social media platforms as well as in the Twitch chat just by typing !Discord. That'll give you the link and you can go check that out and you can join the server. It's free. So, hey, that's pretty cool. Also, if you're interested in becoming a partner, definitely talk to the server's co-owner and manager, Mahedrian. He will definitely get you where you need to be in starting the inclusion of your community and your club and getting you started for upcoming seasons and competitions. It's going to be a lot of fun. Again, check out the social media channels. Check out our YouTube channel, brand new YouTube channel, LHYNX Division. Check that out. Subscribe to it. The Twitch channel, if you haven't already, follow the Twitch channel so you can get notified every time we go live and we have these competitions. It's going to be super fun. Drift, thank you so much for being my co-shoutcaster tonight. It was a pleasure. You did a tremendous job, and we're going to be back at it again on Thursday, July 15th, once again, 8 o'clock p.m. It's the conclusion to the series between Team Void against Team Misfits on Overwatch here in Season 0. But until then, thank you, everybody, for joining in and participating and being a part of all of this. We have more action coming your way. Stay tuned. Stay awesome. We'll see you very soon.
Don't you know? Don't you know? I'm living in shadow. Don't you know? Don't you know? I fell for fool's gold. I fell for fool's gold. What did I know? What did I know? I fell for fool's gold. I fell for fool's gold. What did I know? What did I know? You were fool's gold. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And I did it all for love. Yes, I did it all for love. Oh, they say fools believe in it, so I guess I'm one of them. Oh, don't you know? I fell for fool's gold. I fell for fool's gold. What did I know? What did I